Let's go Grinders! It's time. Oh yeah.
God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but they see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that heaven's in it. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Facts, lot of haters. Tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo! Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Oh yeah.
Get a PC to wait. But just buy a PS5 and be that date. I'm tired of same old game, playing on repeat. Gotta break free, gotta find something sweet. Then I heard about a brand new thing, a clean dream. PS5.
What's up, grinders? We're going this one. Yeah, what's up? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Just buy a PS5. Mic drop. Yo, that is a brand new release from the Gaming Grindhouse Records. Yes, everybody's loving it. Just buy a PS5. Oh, man, oh, man. Making the waves, making the charts. Billboard Top 100. Hope you like that. More releases coming your way. The Ultimate Grinders just got a new, if you wanted to upgrade to the Ultimate Grinders, there is a new one that just released. And I'm actually now, what I'm doing is I'm putting some music videos to it. So it's going to be really good. A Helldivers 2 Jam just got released for the Ultimate Grinders there. So if you're a VIP, you can upgrade to the Ultimate Grinder. But if you want to be an Ultimate Grinder, you have access to the unreleased songs. There's like about 4 other ones that I have in there that need to get voted on. But the Helldivers 2 Jam just got up there, a brand new unreleased song there. So that's a good one. And then there's going to be another one coming up that I just prepared as well later on in the week. But what we're here to talk about is the topics of the day. So 2 topics today I want to talk about. One is the Spider-Mans. The Spider-Man 2 multiplayer trailers, 2 of them, were leaked or released or whatever and straddling the internet. Not officially. Leaked. And I'm not going to show them here. You can probably go find them on there. I'll discuss what I've seen on them. And I, unlike the interwebs, I did some research. All right. So there's going to be a take here that you have not heard probably anywhere else. And I'm going to, and again, I could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you what my 2 sources, what I'm hearing is. No, what I'm seeing is, because we know here in the Gaming Grindhouse, what are our sources? Who are our insiders? Everybody has one. 2 of them. We have 2 insiders. Everybody has them. Nope, they don't get assigned to you when you get an Xbox channel. You have them. They're called Left Eyeball and Right Eyeball. And I see what I see, and those are my sources. Those are my insiders right there. Balls of eyes. There you go. Balls of eyes in the chat. That's what it is. All right? 2 eyeballs. Now I'm telling you what my eyeballs are seeing. You can't see them behind the frosted glass, Luchito. You can't see that frosted glass. That's where the work is. Oh, man. If you like frosted glass, the next song that is coming out, I think that's going to shoot straight to the top. Oh, my goodness. That one is, listen, when I make these things, if I'm sitting back and laughing at my own stuff, I know it's going to be good. But anyway, so that's the top of Spider-Man. And, of course, we back it up with the articles, the receipts. Then, not 1, but 2 topics today. I got 2 sources. That's right, Fidget Farmer. Hit that like button, grinders, as you're coming on in here. Richard Farmer, Buck Rogers. I'm going to have the VIPs pop up here as I'm going over the intros here. So the second thing that I want to do, shout out to the VIPs coming on in. These are the VIPs. The wall is growing. Herman Holtz splits quality. That's how he did his interview that we talked about on Monday. Straight up like that. They had CGI his legs, sitting in a chair and put on a shirt. But that's how Herman Holtz does, because we see the true Herman Holtz. Yeah. And then shout out to the Platinum and the Golden Grinders working their way there over 2 years and 1 year there. And then our Ultimate VIPs, the Ultimate Grinders. Those are the ones who have access to all the songs right now. But shout out to them. But anyway, let me tell you. So the next topic is a video that fell upon my channel, my viewers just popped up. And it's almost like YouTube is like, hey, I got something for you. And oh my goodness, listening to this Xbox interview or discussion from back then, 7 years ago, and hearing this and knowing what we know now, it is crazy. And there is one piece of information, there's one statement in there that is shocking. And we're going to talk about it. It's incredible. I was like, oh, mouth drop. Oh my God, really? Oh my goodness. They have not changed. Oh, you're going to want this one. You're going to like this one. So hit that like button. That video just dropped out of the YouTube algorithms and just fell upon my what to watch. And you know I like those old interviews. You know I like looking at that stuff. And it piqued your interest. Oh my goodness. It is crazy. It is crazy. And And I always said, when we go back and listen to what they needed to fix and what they need to do and how to address it and what's going on, and now what we know this amount of time later, I'll tell you right now, you got to be crazy to think that this is going to change, because it has never changed. But you'll talk about that. But you're going to be real interested in my take on the Spider-Man thing. So shout out to the grinders again. Awesome. Ultimate Grinder tier. There it is right there. Those are my DJs, my UJs or whatever I call them, Ultimate Grinding DJs. You know, they listen to the music, they're liking it, and then they will vote to see what the next song will be public released. But you heard the latest song. This was the one, just by a PS5, as voted on by the Ultimate Grinders, and their tiebreaker was with the VIPs. So tiebreaker goes to the VIPs there. But without further ado, let's go into this thing right here. So the Spider-Man stuff. So these multiplayers are leaked. So if you saw on Twitter, we have two. Now there was one that leaked and another one. Now, if you've seen these again, I don't want to show them here because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want any kind of takedowns or anything like this. But if you look at what those looked like, those Spider-Man trailers, it was based off the multiverse. It's a multiplayer 5-person Spider-Man, and it was a video of either Peter Parker or I think it was Peter Parker. Then there was another one with Yuri on it that basically was talking about, hey, you know, we got to fight with the villains, but you don't want to do this by yourself. Let's go. Gwen Stacy. There were all the different multiverse Spider-Verse characters in there. And they're like, hey, Gwen Stacy was in there, and they're running around the city and doing missions and fight. And it's like, oh, we got to fight the breakout of the enemies and stuff like that. And also there's been a portal then, you know, and now the second video shows they're going through a portal and there's different kind of like, you know, almost similar to Ratchet and Clank, where you go into the portal and you're like in this portal world. And it was interesting. And this was one of those multiplayer games that apparently Sony had on the you know, on their list. Now, everybody's like, this is the Spider-Man canceled game. It's canceled. It's canceled. And if you watch the videos, listen, here come my two eyeballs into the position here. And share it out the video, please. So the trailers come out, and that's what they are. They're trailers. They're trailers talking about a multiplayer mode. This is not a leak per se where, hey, this is alpha footage of 5 Spider-Man running around the city, swinging. You know, not everything is fully implemented. It says like beta is alpha. It doesn't look like raw footage at all. This doesn't look like something that was in development. It looks like I swear, if PlayStation would have just tweeted out this video, it would have been, oh yeah, this is coming out. That's how polished this video was. That had a little art here and there, but it was maybe some placeholder stuff, but it really looked like it was ready. And a mode, not a game, right, Josh? Yeah, like a mode. It almost akin to what Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer was added on to the Ghost of Tsushima. That's kind of like what it looked like. It looked like you're going around the same city, but now you have 5 spider people going around. It looked finished. And then the second video looks finished and talks about the multiverses and this. And you think about how this would work as a games as a service. Now, for me, after watching the 2 videos, I'm intrigued. Now, as for the longevity of something like that, well, that's on them. That's on them to determine whether I might want to, and here, let me just get a little visual up here so you're not staring at the screen here. But, you know, I might want to definitely check this out. I could see potential with it. But it looks too polished. That's right, Maniolas. It looks too polished. It looks too ready. Like I said, if Sony would have tweeted out the video, it would have been like, yep, this is coming out. So I was like, I'm intrigued because all they keep saying is this is canceled. This is canceled. Sony canceled service games. Look at this shutting down the studios. This is canceled. And you look, and there was Gwen Stacy. There was Spider-Man 2099. There was all the different the Spider-Verse people. They even had pictures of Spider-Woman, all this stuff. And you know from the show, right, from the movie, how many different variations of Spider-Man there are in the Spider-Verse, in the web. It is crazy. There's the cowboy one. There's all different ones. And you look at this and you go like, yo, there's something here. This looks like they have something here. And then everybody's like, the cancel Spider-Man game. The cancel Spider-Man game. And I'm like, who said it was canceled? So I went to start researching it. I was like, wait a second. How was this canceled? And before I get into that, let me just give my impressions of what I saw, right? So when I watched this thing, I thought like there's some potential in here. I was getting ahead of myself. I thought that there was some potential. I'm like, this is interesting. And now think about it. Maybe they could do different cities and different kind of universes or Spider-Verses. And they could introduce a new Spider-Man with a new power or something along those lines. And that will be kind of the reoccurring content. What's up, Dog Zone? As it comes through. Maybe something like that. Or they could have a Spider-Man that's earnable with doing missions or grinding or leveling up. Or you could just go buy the Spider-Man with money. Thinking about how the service will do. Like, how would this game continue to be refreshed? Spider-Punk 2 as well, yeah. And thinking about, they could just introduce. There's so many Spider-Man they can introduce. Like they could introduce all different ones. You could go through a portal, and what happens if you go into a different type of the city? Maybe a Spider-Punk version of New York City, maybe a cyberpunk version of New York City, a film noir version of New York City. You could do all those kind of things and have the city, because that's the one thing. Like, I don't know if I want to keep hanging around New York City anymore. Like, I want something a little different, some variation on there. So if they could vary with the different portals and the different universes, that would be something that's intriguing. So I'm thinking about as a service game, as a live content thing, and taking some stuff from what they learned from Hellblade 2, the Helldivers, I'm sorry, not Hellblade, Helldivers 2, having the different planets have different experiences, having different New York cities with different characters in different multiverses. There's potential there. So I'm kind of excited. I'm like, this will be really cool. It's a shame that it's canceled. But I'm like, wait, is it canceled? Who canceled it? So I went back and it was like, let's look at what was done. Because a lot went on near the end of last year with the Insomniac leak. A lot went on. A lot of stuff came out of there. But what actually did come out of there? Because looking at these two trailers, they look so ready to go. Like, they look like this was supposed to be maybe a showcase drop. And I'm going to get into how we could look at this. But let's go back to see where the word canceled for this game came from. So going back and looking at this is where it starts. On December 25th, Christmas, we're looking here, Christmas, Spider-Man Multiplayer game reportedly canceled. And then you can tell me if I'm thinking crazy. Definitely in the chat, if this is crazy. So the huge data leak that happened, it said the leak included the PC build of Marvel's Wolverine, which people were playing. Huge data leak revealed canceled Spider-Man Multiplayer. Oh, it did cancel Spider-Man Multiplayer. So what was that thing? As reported by Jason Schreier from Bloomberg. So this is the origin of Spider-Man being canceled. Now, Jason does have insight and all this other stuff. But let's look at the information that Jason Schreier is using and put it to what we've seen. Remember, eyeballs. You got two of them. Those are your sources. Here we go. As reported by Jason Schreier and Bloomberg, the multiplayer Spider-Man title was leaked in the works from Spider-Man from Insomniac Games at some point over the past few years under the name Spider-Man The Great Web. The report claims the game would have seen players fight across New York with spider people. It was canceled by the studio, quote, a long time ago. First warning sign. First head scratcher, I would say. Indicating that many of the other claims from the leaked data may not be entirely accurate. Plans changed over the years. It originally intended release date wasn't clarified by the report, so it isn't clear whether Spider-Man The Great Web was supposed to release before or after Spider-Man 2. So the quote is, it was canceled a long time ago. So when this thing leaked out in December, Exactly, Josh. Josh is using those eyeballs. In December, Jason Schreier reached out to try to corroborate the story because what happened here. So I'm like, well, wait a second. So what is the data that Jason Schreier got to determine that this was canceled? So let's go see. So when I went to, let me see if I could find it. I had it here. When I went to where this discourse was, right? Let me see if I could find it. Here's Bloomberg. So here's his article. I don't know if here's his article. Ransomware hackers. Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm navigating to the right spot here. Because where did Jason get his information from? So let's see here. Yeah, and I agree, Aaron. Aaron, I do have to say, one thing, like, people shouldn't be happy about canceling games. Like, I don't think it's that's why I'm thinking it's not canceled. But anyway, what I want to say is, like, however, if the game is canceled for the sake of another game, then, maybe I could see the difference. But it's never good, especially when we see it and going, oh, that's never coming to us. I don't like that. That definitely ups, but if it made something better for it, then, then I could see why. But otherwise, I don't like seeing things that, like, same thing with the factions too. Like, I was definitely, ticked off about that. So let me see if I could find where this is. So up here, because I don't want to just say it and not have again, I don't know if how legit that is, but if we look at, damn it, where the hell was it? See, I had the article up, and then I had let me just do a quick search because I don't want to do this thing. So what I was looking for is, I'm like, where is this information? So apparently from the leaked documents, from the Insomniac leak, because the roadmap, right? Apparently in August, the multiplayer budget stopped. It just disappeared. So after August, the multiplayer budget stopped and they started working on Venom. And that's where this cancellation thing is coming from. That's what somebody wrote from the leak thing where they were talking on Jason Schreier's article. Then Jason Schreier corroborated that, and what they told him was it was from a long time ago. This was canceled a long time ago. And now things are starting not to match up. When you see this trailer, these two trailers that were leaked, they didn't look like something, like, look at what even Wolverine, like, you could see that that gameplay wasn't there. Like, why would they have these two packages lined up? These look like something that was going to drop at a Sony showcase, these two things. Like, they would just drop this going, hey, here's an extra thing, right? And you're jumping right to the point. Like, Lonely. Like, it's canned? By who? I'm going to tell you what's canned. You know what's canned? Factions 2. Because Neil Druckmann came out and said, we are not working on this game right now. This was never confirmed by Insomniac to be canned. That's the point. The point is that Insomniac nor Sony never said, we're not working on this. And on top of that, when Sony said they were doing 12 games by fiscal year, right? 12 games by fiscal year. It does look too polished, but I'm not even going based off its polishedness. I'm talking about when Sony said they wanted 12 games by fiscal year 2025. That means by March 2026, they would have 12 service games. What they said was, what Herman said, I'm just going to get it here, because I like having the articles to back up what I'm saying here. It said that they were switching it down to 6 service games, and they were going to evaluate the other 6. Didn't say the other 6 are canceled. We are, instead of launching 12, targeting 12 for 2026, we are going to change to 6 games. They pumped the brakes on it. So here it is. Sony's plan for 12 service games got cut in half. So what he said, Sony still has 12 service games planned, but the company is currently reviewing them in order to meet gamers' expectations, which is exactly what we want, quality. And to ensure games will be played likely for a long time. Like, you can't dump 12 service games in 2.5 years and think that everything's going to get all that time. So let's spread it out. So now they plan to do 6 online multiplayer games released by the end of Sony's fiscal year, which is 2026. The rest will come later, Totoki said during a call. So everybody running around going that Sony canceled 6 service games is incorrect. They never said they're canceling. Now, they have canceled some, because we've seen studios shut down that were supposedly working on multiplayer games, service games, such as, the Deviation Games, such as London Studio. So those service games were evaluated and canceled. But he says the rest will come later. So when you keep saying canceled, it could be that they're delayed. They're not targeting. And I'm going to give you another little loophole here. And again, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right and arguing that you're wrong that it's canceled. I'm just saying I'm using some eyeballs, and I'm saying, where did this cancellation come from? Because we know Factions 2 got canceled. Yeah, Studio London, now London Studio. We knew that's canned. But there's still service games out there. Like the Horizon one's supposedly still going on, right? So, and then also there's Marathon coming as well. What's up, Ice Queen? But first off, they just said they're reducing them. Delayed for quality. Not canceled. So they weren't making 12 and now they're making 6. They were making 12. They're now prioritizing to just launch 6 in that time frame, and the others will come later and will be evaluated. So Herman also went on to say that they're being evaluated, probably by Bungie, who probably needs an evaluation themselves. But that's where you go. So when you look at that, and here what Herman says here. I think this is the part where he says, let me see where he says it. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, no. So it's 6 by 2026 and then more after. That's what the real message was. That's it. What Josh was saying. That's what the message was. They delayed half of their service games. They were delayed. Now, the cancellation for Spider-Man comes from Jason Schreier saying that he heard from people when the leak happened that this was canceled by the studio a long time ago. And that was in December. Why would they have a video package like that for a canceled game long ago? And when you saw the Wolverine footage that leaked, why would that video that looks like it's ready to go not leak along with Wolverine playable footage? And you could see that Wolverine definitely was still in development. This looks like they're probably beta testing something. They're testing something. That packet, that's the video that you would drop when you're launching something. That wasn't like, hey, here's a network test of 5 Spider-Man running around. And maybe you're right, Josh. Maybe the pivot is that it was supposed to be a game and now it's a mode. But people are just saying it's canceled, it's done, it's never happening. Canceled. That's all you see is canceled. And I was like, let me take it a step further and look at where the hell this canceled stuff came from. And that's what I'm pulling up. Because if you look here, and when I went into the forums to look and see what they were talking about, they were saying that the multiplayer budget stopped in August, and Venom, they were working on Venom. And here you go. This is from, where is it from here? This is what leaked here. Let me just get this. And this is where he corroborated from his story, right? So for Bloomberg, so he says, for fans and observers, some circulating information about the sales and budgets has offered a rare inside look at the opaque industry. Remember, opaque industry from the leak, right? He goes, but many of the documents have spread online thanks to the leak were old and may no longer be accurate, such as pitches for a multiplayer Spider-Man game that was actually canceled long time ago, according to people familiar with the company's plans. So what the hell are we watching then?
It's getting late. I got a parade to go to. and I've yet to see a sign of the supposed Turboman doll.
The documents were old and may no longer be accurate, such as pitches for a multiplayer Spider-Man game that was actually canceled a long time ago. What the hell were those videos then? What the hell? What is that? This is where the origins, this is the origin of a game being canceled. This is it. It's Jason Schreier. Nobody else said it. Sony never corroborated it. Insomniac never said anything about it. Welcome, J-Row, VIP member for 1 month, baby. Get in there. Hit that like button. Sony never confirmed it. Insomniac never confirmed it. And this is where the rumor started. Spider-Man's canceled. It's canceled. What do you mean it's canceled? That's the internet nowadays. It's just canceled. But nobody figures out where would this come from? What's the source of the cancellation? Was it like Neil Druckmann coming out going, we are no longer working on Factions 2? The game has been put on hold or scrapped or whatever like that. That's what he said. That's confirmation. And maybe Lonely Snow's right. Maybe they pivoted and worked on Wolverine, and now we're going to get into that part. So now, they said nothing about it. Exactly. And also, too, if this video wasn't and this is the crazy thing. Ready? Now you're going to get into some crazy grinds theories here. Get ready. Here's some crazy grind theories. If you look at what Sony has been doing, I could tell you right now, a great predictor of what will come to PlayStation and when stuff should be planned around is look at their friggin' movie schedules. Look at the movie schedules. You heard Herman Holtz, chest hairs, 3 buttons undone, gold chains, talking about the movies and quality. If you look at when the Spider-Man movies, Wolverines, look and compare it to where the games come out. Look at this. Now, let's remaster the Nathan Drake collection. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go remaster the Nathan Drake collection. Why? Nathan Drake, the movie, is coming out. Oh, okay. Twisted Metal TV show's coming out. Oh, put Twisted Metal in PlayStation Plus subscriptions. Ah. Okay, wait a second. Now let's do another one. We got what? Hold on. I'm thinking now. I'm thinking we have the PlayStation Plus subscriptions, and then now we have what was the other game that they put out there? Next, let's go do Until Dawn's getting a remaster for the movie, right, Josh? And I just lost my train of thought now. I was on a roll. Now, Until Dawn, that's another good one. Until Dawn is getting a movie, right? Now we're going to look at what is the other movie. Even, look at this, Spider-Man. Remember, Spider-Man Into the Universe. Yes, the Twisted Metal game got canceled, though. You're right, Sam, but that got canceled. But they did put the Twisted Metal games in there. They correlated. They have that pulse on what's going on in the social media or what's going on in the movie and the TV stuff and what's going on in the games because they feed off of each other. Just look at Last of Us. They remastered Last of Us. Thank you, Consumption Soul. That's where I was drawing my blank. Last of Us. Let's remaster part 1 and part 2 because now the TV show took off. And I wouldn't be surprised if the TV show influenced the prioritizations in Naughty Dog. Maybe they're like, hey, you know what? Last of Us is a big hit on TV. People are going to want more. Start working on the next story. Horizon TV show or Horizon Multiplayer is still coming, but that's future. Let's talk about what has happened. Spider-Man. Here we go. Ready? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was delayed. That was supposed to come out in October of 2022. Right? It got delayed to June of last year. And guess what else came out last year? Oh, that's not me. What came out last year? Spider-Man 2. Now, what's coming out this year? The Venom movie, slated for November of this year. The Kraven movie, slated for September or August of this year. What are they working on, Insomniac? Venom DLC. When do you think that's going to drop, Grinders? Let's go back to the past. 1 year later, Horizon Forbidden West DLC comes out. 1 year later, God of War Valhalla. Wait a second, there's a trend here. A year later, you get a DLC for the big games. Spider-Man DLC's been working on. We saw the roadmap. Venom, slap dab right near the movie. Venom DLC. Venom DLC drops right in friggin' October. And Venom comes out in November. Venom 3 in the movies. And you got a Venom expansion coming to Spider-Man. Now, look at what we saw with this trailer. It's Spider-Verses. Spider-Verse. What comes out next year? The culmination of the most incredible, most popular Spider-Verse movie that's coming out. What are you going to have right next to it? Spider-Man Multiplayer with the multiverses and Spider-Web in it. Comes out next year. That what we're seeing is going to be a mode or something coming out next year with the Spider-Man multiverses that's coming out. The Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. How can you not have something lined up? Look at even the characters. Look at the costumes. The costumes are associated with the TV, with the shows. You drop this not now. Why would you drop this now? No. You drop this next year. And I wouldn't be surprised if you go back and look at Sony's thing. This is some crazy going down the rabbit hole stuff. But if you go back now and look at Sony's thing, Sony Showcase, they showed Miles Morales in the beginning and Spider-Man 2 at the end. Who says that Beyond the Spider-Verse? Thank you very much, Mario Cox. Now, I wonder if they show Venom for Spider-Man, and then they show, here's the multiplayer for Spider-Man. And that comes as the kind of the swan song to the Spider-Man 2 game. This multiverse that we just saw that trailer of a canceled game, quote unquote, canceled mode or whatever. Now, as that one's fading, Spider-Man 2 gets its multiplayer, they add on stuff, whatever they do. Here comes Wolverine. Deadpool. Wolverine's back. I would say this summer they show Wolverine because they're going to associate it with the Deadpool show. And then next year, they release Wolverine. So next year, you get your Spider-Man multiplayer in the summer. You get your Venom DLC at the end of this year, right between the movie, right near the movie. You get whatever the hell they're working on with the Beatles stuff in January. They did a 3-pack for the first Spider-Man. But there's some crazy stuff. But look at their movies. Look at when they're associating the timing of it. And then look at what's happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if so this all kind of goes into, what about that multiplayer being a mode, being something? You don't know. But it's so weird because the leak showed that this game was canceled a long time ago. Here you go, right here. The documents were old. And anyway, listen, listen to this. Hit that like button, grinders. You dislike it if you think I'm crazy. I may be crazy. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I have insiders. I'm just saying I'm using my eyeballs and using this. And that's right. Lonely Snow just added. See, and that's why you're a grinder. That's why you guys are grinders. You feed right. Exactly. Look at the logic for when it goes to PC. Exactly, Lonely Snow. Exactly. Wolverine's probably going to come out. Spider-Man goes to PC. Look at the timing of when stuff is coming out. And here's another one. You want to get even further. And I know the movie's not good. But listen, New Game Plus for Spider-Man comes out around the time that Madam Web releases. Now, Madam Web is horrible, but it is made by Sony. All right? They couldn't assume the movie was horrible. But Madam Web comes out, and all of a sudden, we got Spider-Man New Game Plus now. And also, go look at something. The Spider-Man console's on sale, $50 off. Huh? This makes you go, right? Oh, Madam Web, Spider-Man's back in the movies again, or there's some sort of Spider-Man. Oh, here's Spider-Man's back. New Game Plus update. It took you that long, New Game Plus? Yeah, New Game Plus. Because now there's Spider-Man in the media. Madam Web, it sucked. I didn't say it, but it got bad reviews. But it was a Sony Spider-Man movie. And now let's do that Spider-Man New Game Plus right now. And let's go put the Spider-Man console Slim on sale. $50 off. I don't know why, Compost Smurf. I don't even know why. But I'm not talking about the movie itself. Just talking about the timing of the movie and the timing of the Spider-Man update. It's too many times where these things align. And it is bad. It is a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a great movie and this is going to get people to play Spider-Man. None of that crap. All I'm saying is look at the timing of when the Spider-Man New Game Plus came out and when around the movie. There you go. There's too much. It lines up too much with what they're doing. And you know that they're making pushes for the movies. They weren't canceling the Horizon Multiplayer because they got a Horizon TV show coming up on Netflix. They remastered all the Last of Us. They got the TV show. Uncharted, let's do Uncharted Collection. Until Dawn, why would that come back all of a sudden? Oh, they got a movie coming out. Why would it Until Dawn out of the blue just come out? Oh, because they got a movie. The moves they're making are lining up. And remember, Jim Ryan's line, we are an entertainment company. We are here to entertain. So wouldn't it be, and they got the pulse because they are releasing the movie studios and they're not movie games, but if that IP is up on the big screen, people want to go play it. People might want to do it. So that's my thing. And this is the source right here. And when they said that the Spider-Man game was canceled a long time ago, I'm like, wait a second. Why did that look like a ready-to-go Sony showcase trailer of a new game mode coming to Spider-Man? And listen, why would it come out now? That was my last point on this whole thing. Why would that Spider-Man come out now? They had a full playable leak of Wolverine on PC. But this polished 2 videos ready to go, they find that now? In March? I understand it's 1.7 terabytes of data, but they had a full playable Wolverine like the next day after this leak. After this invasion. But this nice little trailer that was all ready to go showing a new game mode comes out now? In March? 2 of them? Voiceovers and all? And gameplay? Weird. Really strange. And a Ghost movie's coming? Would you ship that? I don't know. It's just so weird. Because the way the rumor came about the Spider-Man game being canceled from the leaks, it's from here, Jason Schreier, Bloomberg. And they said, oh, that was pitched a long time ago. Pitched? We got a friggin' trailer ready to go. That looks like a mode that's dropping next month. Story and everything. 5 people. It wasn't like net code. It didn't look like somebody was running around with 5 Spider-Man's clone testing it out. And why would you make those 2 videos? Why would those come out first if the game is still like testing phases and stuff like that? How would you make that? That looked like a PR piece. That looked like something there. Yeah, I know GTA is there. That's everybody's problem. Only. What's up, Anthony? But yeah, I don't understand that. So, if you look at this and look at what's going on, yeah, it's going to be an obstacle for everybody. GTA 6, it is what it is. Whenever it comes out, just stay out of that whole quarter. But those are the kind of things that made me scratch my head, and things that make you go, Yeah, things that make you go, I was just like, So everybody's like, here's the video of it canceled. I'm like, this looks too polished. This looks like it's ready to go. But that's just my thought on it. I think that just to kind of to wrap that part up, I really think that it may be something there. But you want to know what?
Put that cookie down now!
What? You think I don't have any more receipts as to what I'm saying? What my two eyeballs see? Well, Grinders, let me take you on just a little tweet somewhere. Hot off the presses. What is this I see, Grinders? What is this I see? What just came on the Twitter books? A new leaker on the scene. I usually don't comment on stolen information, but asserting so decisively that an unannounced game is canceled doesn't seem right to me. Absolutely, developments go through many phases, and over time they often transform into something different. And then stops there and then goes, or become part of something else. So everybody could be reading this all wrong. And I'm not saying I made a decision based off of this leaker, because I could care about leakers. But maybe we're saying the game got canceled. And now this is deciding to be something to add on to the Spider-Man 2 game with the DLC. Maybe it's like the third DLC. Maybe at the end of this year, you get you buy the season pass for $30 or $40. You get the Venom DLC, you get Beetle, and then you get the Spider-Man Multiplayer releasing in the summertime around Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. That is the culmination in the movie. That movie's going to be crazy. How do you, as Sony, that movie is going to be insane. How do you not have anything Spider-Man around where that movie's coming out? That is the part 2 of the better Spider-Man than the movies. So, think about it. Or you have I would not put that multiverse thing at the end of this year. That multiverse thing, that trailer, I think that's something for next year around the movie. This year we're getting the Venom DLC. Right, because the Venom and Kraven movie come right out next to each other. Venom killed Kraven in the game, or spoiler, but Venom and Kraven fought in the game. Venom DLC right next to the movie in November. Done. Look at the movies and look at when the games come out. The movies and entertainment industry are influencing the timing of when the content and games and DLC come out. And that will be a year after Spider-Man 2. Just like Horizon Forbidden West DLC, The Burning Shores, and just like God of War Valhalla. They both came out a year after. Same thing with Returnal DLC. They added multiplayer to Returnal a year after its release. Grinders, am I on to something or am I on to something? Let's go!
Oh, and second on 2.
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear this. I don't know. Oh, my God. Body slam. I don't know. Anyway, that was my crazy prediction, but this just came out here, and again, part of something else. So, people running around like it's canceled, and also, too, I think I want to add a little bit of spice to this. Just a little bit of spice. I see a lot of the Xbox folks going, oh, they should have canceled it. Oh, man, this looked great. They should not have canceled this. Okay. I see you. Let's see. Because some people were saying Spider-Man's mid, but are hyped up for this multiplayer Spider-Man going, oh. No, it doesn't happen, K the Barbarian. It's not happen. Now I was drunk. I was drunk. Not spoiling games. Venom and Kraven are related. They interact with each other. That's all I'm saying. But I see a lot of them like, oh, what an L on Sony. L on Sony for canceling this. Because I bet you if this was an official announcement, they'll be like, oh, that looks mid. You should be worried about why Microsoft ain't talking about Hellblade 2. That's what you should be worried about. Where the hell's that gameplay? We see more gameplay for Rise of Ronin and Stellar Blade that coming out at the same time. There's headed for that Hellblade 2, and you ain't seen GOTS. You got some friggin' cartwheel moped scooter racing developer direct version of Hellblade 2 gameplay. But it is a little interesting how that's like, oh, kid, oh, really? That's why I was like, take a chill pill on the cancelization. That looked too polished to me. That looks like it's something else. But we'll see. And hey, we may come back here and say I was wrong. I'm wrong. I don't give a shit. I'm wrong. Hey, I don't know. I'm not trying to qualify for insider knowledge. I care less. I just showed you where I got my sources from. My two eyeballs read these articles. I wanted to know why the internet was running around with the word canceled. It was because somebody said it was canceled a long time ago. Then what the hell are those two trailers that we're seeing? But anyway, and now while we're on the idea of the receipts, let's get to part 2 of this lovely journey. But I don't know, give me your thoughts in the comments, the chat here, give me your thoughts. You know, is it officially done? Never say never in this industry, right? And if they were playing a full version of Wolverine in December, and that was able to be ported over, they were able to play that. How the hell did these two polished videos ready to go back to back? Sorry. We're ready. That's right.
Where's the lamb sauce?
And we'll see. Now. Oh, and just to kind of wrap up that thing with the Insomniac stuff, this was all the stuff that came out of the leak, right? So, here you go. The stuff that I said. List of games revealed. The Venom spinoff, scheduled for 2025. The first game on the list is the Venom spinoff, akin to Miles Morales. Installment where you assume role of Venom and unnamed characters. Then the Wolverine. Coming out. There. Spider-Man 3. Following Wolverine, Spider-Man 3 targeting 2028. Ratchet and Clank. Here's Spider-Man The Great Web. Notably, the links hint at a Spider-Man The Great Web Insomniac's multiplayer project with an undisclosed release date as previously confirmed. So, it didn't say anything about the game being canceled in the leaks. It was a pitch. When Jason Schreier asked about it, it was a pitch. And then when somebody said, hey, the financial the multiplayer budget dropped off in August. That's what I read somewhere. Somebody had that on a forum. I don't know if that's real or not. But if that's what they're using, Insomniac never said they canceled it. And that looked too polished to be like, this is never coming out. So, I'm microphone fighting, that's right. But that's the stuff that came out of the leak. Yes, with State of Decay 3, Ryan. 2. We're talking about State of Decay 3. But talking about L's. And see, and people are going around like, oh, Sony's dropping the ball. They're canceling these great games. Like, you're going to be a fool, because why are you jumping on the bandwagon of the cancellation? Does anybody look and see why something is canceled? The game isn't out yet. It must be canceled. That's right. Like, how do you sit here? Like, Neil Druckmann said Factions 2 is not happening. They're Stalker 2, right? But you see all the quote Xbox guys, they're like, oh, Sony dropping the ball again. Sony canceling games that look good. Dude, chill out, man. Did you go back and see why this was canceled? Because I see them trying to jump down Sony's throat. Going, well, this is Sony taking an L. First, Sony didn't make multiplayer games. They were an L. Then Sony drops Hellblade 2 that does better than friggin' Halo. And now Sony's like, oh, they can't do service games. Microsoft does service. Then they go, Sony can't do cloud. Microsoft owns Azure. Sony does cloud better than Microsoft. In the search for W's, all you're going to get are L's. Because what all you Xbox guys should be doing is focusing on where the hell is Hellblade 2 gameplay? When is Indiana Jones coming out? When can I play some Fable? Fable! You think we'll see Fable again? When's Hellblade 2? Where's Hellblade? No, they are more concerned. Sony dropped the ball on this multiplayer. Dude, if that's what their canceled games look like, that makes Xbox even more pathetic. So you excited saying Sony dropping the ball for canceling these games? If that's the quality of Sony and this game really is canceled like that, then you got a problem. Because how the hell does Redfall come out as a full $70 product playing and looking like that trash? And Starfield, where they fixed the shadows and stuff. Where's your Starfield DLC? Game of the generation.
It's in the name.
Yeah,
it's
the-
the Xbox.
What about it? Where's your DLC? Game of the generation. Nobody playing that game anymore. You explored all the planets. Todd Howard said you'll be exploring planets for decades. You seen enough rocks? But if that's a Sony canceled project, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be trying to trash Sony because first off, Sony never canceled it. Secondly, Sony never canceled any of its service games. They just made them 6 instead of 12. And they said, and some are getting canceled. Some are getting closed down. London studio, yes. There are some victims of the evaluation. But I would be real cautious to be like, your Spider-Man, oh, they canceled this. I wouldn't be jumping down to, I wouldn't be trying to make this a Sony L just yet. I wouldn't.
Oh no! We suck again!
You look at Sony with such criticism and stuff like that, but meanwhile, everybody should be talking about the incredible Hellblade 2 that's coming out. You know, maybe the only game that could show the power that was promised to you 4 friggin' years ago. But you want to know what? I'm not done with receipts with Xbox. Let's drive them into the ground because you know what?
No! We suck again!
Yeah, because you want to know what? This is the stuff that you should be covering. Let me show you what you should be covering here. Let's go back to what dropped. Let's go right over here. Well, it was my watch later because I saved this one. This was an incredible thing. Hit the like button 7 years ago. Oh yeah, guys. I don't know if you remember these, but let's go back and watch the bonus round. Oh man, timestamp this one. Here we go. Here we go. Ding, ding. Let's go. The bonus round. 7 years ago. Interview. Smuggling grapes. Jeff Keighley. Before he was big on TV. Michael Pachter. The man that doesn't know anything. And I would not take financial advice from him. Seamus Blackley. The creator of Xbox. And some other guy. Jeff Rubenstein. The founder of Insomniac. The founder of Naughty Dog. Co-founder. This was after Microsoft announced the Xbox One and Kinect. They've taken back all of their online check-ins, all this other stuff. But let's listen to how they speak about Microsoft, how they speak about the lack of games and not focusing on... Just let it low. Listen to this. Here we go. And tell me, but before we listen... Just think what we know now about Microsoft and games and prioritizations and what they're focusing on and their messaging. Listen to this. And tell me how Xbox now is better than Xbox then. And you're right, Neil. Neil, we need a soundbite right before this one.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed?
Oh, they're going to get
Have
swallowed.
you
Bonus
gone
round
through a
from
time
GDC
of
next with Michael Pachter,
swallowing
Jason
where
Rubin,
everything
and
was
Seamus Blackley. We had an
overwhelming
awesome
and you
discussion last week about Sony and the state of the console business. This week, let's turn to the other platform that's going to launch next week, which will be Xbox One from Microsoft. And what a year they've had. As you mentioned, Jason, when we saw you at E3, we were talking about the challenges Microsoft has faced overall.
This is after
year.
E3.
Seamus, let me start with you, since you obviously have a deep link to
Seamus, the creator of
Xbox
Xbox.
heritage. You've sort of watched
One
this
of them.
all from a distance, I think, this year. How do you feel about the Xbox One and where Microsoft is at with the system?
Is it okay if I call it X-Bone on the
Yes,
air?
you can
Okay.
Xbone.
I-
Pause.
What you watching, little bro? Caught you in 20K HDR 1200 FPS Super Nintendo iOS 49 Blu-ray Ultraviolet Radiation 1080p
The
PlayStation 5.
man who created the box and fought Bill Gates to make the Xbox said, I'm going to call it the X-Bone. Let's... Gee, right there. Right there. He's like, he wants to call the guy, the dad, the father of Xbox said, I want to call an X-Bone. He is even trolling them. That's how bad Xbox is. The creator didn't even respect the thing that he created. Jesus.
Is at with the system?
Is it okay if I call it X-Bone on the air?
Yes, you can
Okay.
Xbone.
I-
The internet will love you for that.
It was a weird thing for me to watch them, do that initial press, because I had when the heat was on me to stand up in front and represent the thing,
Yeah.
I had a PowerPoint of things you couldn't say.
Right.
Things you can't
And
say.
Don Matrick essentially took that PowerPoint and just read it as their presentation.
Yes,
like
he is,
everything
Josh.
that was totally illegal
What
to
were
say.
some of those things you were supposed to say?
Well, listen, I think that there's a lot of merit to the platform message that he had and the integration of content and all that stuff. We've seen it work really well with Netflix and other, streaming video services and content services on consoles. It's been awesome. It's a good business, okay? But fundamentally, the reason people buy consoles is because they're gamers and they want to play awesome games and they want to feel really good about it and they want to feel like you give a shit about them.
Yep.
They want to
Whoa, excuse me.
feel like you give a shit about giving them good games.
What?
It's in the name.
Yeah,
it's
the-
the
You
Xbox.
heard it. What do people buy it for? They buy it for Phil Spencer. Did they buy it for the community? Did they buy it for the colors? What did they buy it for? What do they buy it for? Sir, explain to me. And what? Do they give a shit about them? Really? What?
Is because they're gamers and they want to play awesome games and they want to feel really good about it and they want to feel like you give a shit about them.
Yep.
They want to feel like you give a shit about giving them good games. Okay, and so if you're running the platform, you have to look at them and say, I am going to make awesome games for you. You are the most important thing in the world to me. And instead, what
about console is it's your highest value gamer. It's your person who plays the most, they buy the most. But the thing that's also important is that customer is actually your most valuable customer across every device.
Wrong. Not across every device, fool. There you go. It's about the games. It's about giving them. Boom. It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Yeah,
it's
the-
the Xbox.
Microsoft said was, thanks guys for getting this brand where it is. Now we're taking over and it's going to be about streaming football.
So you just listen to how history repeats itself. It's about the games. People buy the games. They don't buy it for the cloud. They don't buy it for the community. They buy it for the games. And he's saying right there, Microsoft says, thank you for getting to us where we need to be. We'll take it from here. He's saying this 7 years ago. Tell me how does not apply right now when we hear about cloud and strap-ons to your phones and this and that and blah, 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 all the crap that about everything but the games. Sony's doing this. We can't be Xbox. So look, everything but the games. They went out and spent $80 billion to bring games to the platform that already will come into your platform already. Tell me if that's not foolishness. Now he says, thank you very much. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody, for getting Xbox where it is. We'll take it from here. Doesn't that sound exactly like what Xbox is today? 7 years later, Microsoft is like, we'll take it from here. It's about putting games and you're putting your games everywhere else. And they buy the console for the game. So when your games are everywhere else, what do they buy the console for? Booty, interview Booty. Booty, explain yourself. What do they buy the console for if your games are everywhere else? Oh, exactly. Yep, I hear you.
Okay, and so if you're running the platform, you have to look at them and say, I am going to make awesome games for you. You are the most important thing in the world to me. And instead, what Microsoft said was, thanks guys for getting this brand where it is. Now we're taking over and it's going to be about streaming football. And people were like, felt bad. Like, what? I'm not the most important thing anymore because they are the most important.
So was
thing,
your you don't talk about other things? What was the PowerPoint saying? Don't talk about other things but
The
games.
PowerPoint said,
You're my number one
talk about
customer.
the fact that this entire business exists to make awesome games,
Yeah.
which it did. And anytime we saw internally it not being about that, like somebody, most often Uncle Seamus, threw a fit.
Right.
I do my own friggin' drum roll. You hear this? Do you hear this? Twitch and Sync with the $2. He goes, TV, sports, TV, movies. Exactly. Thank you, Twisted Sync, for the super chat. Hit that like button, everybody. Yes, TV. But do you hear what he's saying? What is it about? You hear it. Mic drop, yeah, double mic drop. You don't say. What are the things you don't say? You don't tell them about the business. You don't tell them about the business. You tell them that it's about making games. And whenever the business seeped into there, he was the one that said, no, it's about making great games. And he'll sit there and he'll, excuse me. We'll see. Let's hear what he had to say about Xbox. I keep replaying this, and we can hear this, because this is the facts of the facts.
Don't talk about other things. What was the PowerPoint saying? Don't talk about other things but
The
games.
PowerPoint said, talk about the fact that this entire business exists to make awesome games,
Yeah.
which it did. And anytime we saw internally it not being about that, like somebody, most often Uncle Seamus, threw a fit.
Right.
And, it produced a culture, which produced a platform that, was all about the games. And we had a steep gradient to climb. In 2001 or 2000 or 1999, we would go around and say Microsoft is going to make a console, and then after 10 minutes when the laughing died down, and when the jokes about blue screen of death died down, and when the jokes about running Excel spreadsheets on your console died down,
Yeah.
we would talk about the plan, and the plan worked, right? But there was a really adverse gradient that we had to climb up to convince people that we were going to make a credible game console. Now, in retrospect, it seems obvious, but it
Yeah.
wasn't so obvious then. And in many ways, with that presentation, Microsoft put themselves in that same hole again. And it was just extremely bizarre personally for me to watch. I was reaching out of the TV no, don't say that.
Stop.
Yeah. But then, as Jason...
About making great games, right?
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost.
In 2000 it felt bad. Like, what? I'm not the most important thing anymore because they are the most important.
So was
thing,
your you don't talk about other things? What was the PowerPoint saying? Don't talk about other things but
The
games.
PowerPoint
all the
said,
games, or-
talk about the fact that this entire business exists to make awesome games.
Yeah.
I
which
see
it did.
commentary
And
that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true.
time we saw internally it not being about that, like somebody, most often Uncle Seamus, threw a fit.
Right.
And it produced a culture, which produced a platform that was all about the games. And we
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around.
had a steep gradient to climb.
Hit that like button. Anonymous Boss, welcome to the VIP Grinders.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games.
But wait, it gets better, Grinders. Hit that friggin' like button.
They had spent so.
But do you see the correlation to what they're experiencing now? When has it been about great games? It's not about games. It's about where, who, how many. It's not about the great games. And he said that that's what it is about. Mm-hmm. And now you heard him say what the people go, what about me? I'm the most important person. I'm the most important person. Where did we hear that before? Let's scratch our head. 2 months ago.
Hold
on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit.
What were they saying?
Activate.
Oh, no.
Holy
Oh, no.
Spirit,
Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
It's like your haircut. Who was saying, what about me? Who was saying, what about us? Who was saying, why I feel like second-class citizens? Who? The Xbox console owner.
So much time and so much energy walking down the road of what was coming next, and had gotten themselves so excited about what was coming next that they forgot to then remind the world, who hadn't been part of all their meetings, that indeed it was the gamer that made sense. So
Now listen to what he said. I might have talked over it. They got so focused on the future of what ifs, they forgot about what now. It writes itself. It writes itself, grinders. Hit the like button. We're here.
that it was about the gamer.
Right.
They had spent so much time and so much energy. I don't
You
think
mean
they,
Xbox?
having dealt with Microsoft,
Yes.
behind the scenes, they were absolutely clear at all times that it was about the gamer.
Right.
They had spent so much time and so much energy walking down the road of what was coming next, and had gotten themselves so excited about what was coming next that they forgot to then remind the world, who hadn't been part of all their meetings, that indeed it was the gamer that made sense. So I always understood the message they were trying to make.
Right.
They utterly flubbed that message. And as a result, they had to step back.
Yeah.
Right? They had to step off that message.
Because there is, I mean, a lot of.
It's about the gamer. It's always about the gamer. But they were so focused on the future of the what ifs. The gamer here, the gamer now, didn't understand because they weren't in Phil Spencer's meeting talking about cloud and how they're going to grow cloud, or in the meeting about we're going to port our games over to PlayStation behind the frosted glass. Yeah, you weren't in that meeting. So that's why you reacted the way you did in January, and now you weren't in Phil's meeting. He wasn't your friend then. They see the future and they're so worried about what's next. Just look, they already moved on. Cloud, they lost cloud. They're done. Amazon got cloud. PlayStation got better cloud. 4K done. Azure's still in beta for years. Sony didn't have any friggin' beta. They said, hey, here's streaming on PlayStation, 4K 60. Go eat your heart out. Xbox Cloud, xCloud, has been in beta for friggin' 3 years. How does Sony just come out and do it better? Are they using Azure? How did they come out? Does Sony even have a beta? They're like, yeah, we're streaming 5K games. But you weren't in the frosty windows. And they were in these meetings talking about the future. And they're so worried about the future that they're losing the now. And that's all they've been doing. They moved on from cloud. Now it's AI. Oh, AI gonna wash your ass and all of the. Get the hell out of here. Now Satya running around talking about AI. Right? Now he's talking about the AI. Here he goes.
Games to more gamers on all platforms.
Study years.
Everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud and community.
Yeah. But now it's AI. Now whenever you see his ass, it's always about AI now. Mm-hmm. They moved on. They're so worried about being behind in the future. But they should realize that they gotta be ahead now in order to be relevant in the future. That's exactly why they're in the position of having to spend $80 billion, because they worried so much about the future, the cloud, all this stuff. We got the Satya emoji, Mr. Tennis. We got him. There he is. There he is. We got him. They're so worried about the future, they're losing the now. And then when they realize it, like what he said, oops, we got to scale it back. We got to do something. Do something. No, don't let me say it. Like, we got to do something. Right?
Helmet, what's going on? Sanders, what's going on? It's Mega Meg.
They're like this.
She's gone from suck to
We're
blow.
losing now.
What?
What?
They're getting all their air back. Do something. Do something. Do something.
Okay, give me $80 billion. Give me $80 billion. I'll do something with it. Give me $80 billion. I'm buying Call of Duty. Grab ass and over there. I'll go buy Call of Duty. I'll do something about it. That's what happened. They thought the cloud was going to take off in 5 years, and they were going to be in the cloud, and everybody rubbing their nipples, spores, shit, everybody in the cloud, still playing with strap-ons on their phones, and the little Timmy playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi. Okay, that's the future. Phil Spencer said he goes to McDonald's and he sees little Timmy playing with his friggin' strapped up controllers and Android phones, all that bullshit. Never happened. It's like friggin' Judgment Day. It never happened, Phil. Never happened. Keep wondering.
Time.
What?
Space.
What?
Reality. It's more than a linear path.
Oh.
It's a prism of endless possibility.
Never happened,
where
Phil.
a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the grinder. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
What if, Phil? You know the one thing that stood still?
Oh no! We suck again!
Exactly. You still suck in the future and now. Problem is, you worry so much about the future that you were irrelevant in the present. He said it there. That was the same mistake they made with Connect. They saw this TV, this Connect and dancing in front of your TV, all this stuff. But they never focused on the now. They're like, thanks, we'll take it from here, Microsoft. What are they doing now? Cloud, AI, buying. What did they have to do? They had to go buy publishers to stay relevant. That's right, Mr. Tan. So that's a grindhouse from heaven. They had to buy publishers to stay relevant. They're like, oh, shit. Guys, we're never going to build these brands to be relevant in the future of this cloud and AI. Let's go do something. Buy a ZeniMax. Buy an Activision. Sell everything. We need to own this. Why? I don't know. It's better for gamers. Go. Exactly, Ryan. The power of the cloud before streaming cloud. The Crackdown was powered by the cloud. Sea of Thieves, the water's powered by the cloud. They were saying Sea of Thieves will never run on anything because it's using Azure servers to power the waves. Meanwhile, it's coming out on PlayStation in another 4 weeks. Oh, Jesus. What about your cloud then? Whose cloud are they using now? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Trash. Nah, it gets better. Hit the friggin' like. We're going better. Let's go.
Well, there's an interesting thing, actually, that a friend of mine said. He said, yeah, Microsoft spent all those billions of dollars to make the new console, for it not to play games. Like, duh, what are people thinking? But as Jason says, you have to tell people that. You have to say, this is what we're doing.
Well, and there's a lot.
Oh, my. They bought OpenAI. Well, ChatGPT. Look, they spent all those billions of dollars to not make games. Do you hear what he said? This is craziness.
He said, yeah, Microsoft spent all those billions of dollars to make the new console, for it not to play games.
They spent all those billions. What happened? I heard something else. They spent all those billions of dollars to make games exclusive, right? You don't spend $80 billion to make those games everywhere. You spend $80 billion to make them exclusive. They spent all this money to put the games where they were going anyway. Mm-hmm.
Duh, what are people thinking? But as Jason says, you have to tell people that. You have to say, this is what we're doing.
Well, and there's a lot of innovative thinking, I think, in that system. I mean, compared to PlayStation 4, which is a great game system. I mean, a lot of the stuff, and I've played it with, the switching between TV
It's still
and
got
games.
the same interface.
It works, and it's
same
interesting,
blocks.
and there's a lot of, deep thinking about sort of that platform, right? The software.
Dude, that was the interface 7 years ago. They still got the same stupid blocks. Apps, and they got the same legacy stuff from 7 years ago. Their interface has evolved into having less blocks, but they're still the same thing. Isn't that crazy? This is 7 years ago.
Stuff, and I've played it with, the switching between TV and games. I mean, that works, and it's interesting, and there's a lot of, deep thinking about sort of that platform, right? The software and services. But does that matter to gamers, Michael?
Microsoft made a mistake in determining how we were going to access those non-game services.
Right.
I don't think anybody is against getting more. So even if you buy the console, play games, it's not going to upset you that you can also
too
watch
many
Netflix.
features.
Right? No one's
I don't
no.
want this.
Well, the features, if it's complicated, it might bother you. But if you have access to football, no one's going to say, oh, it gets football. Fuck that! I'm not going to buy an Xbox. They'll say, oh, okay, somebody in my family might watch it. So I get the concept. What Microsoft made a mistake doing was saying the way you're going to access this is with Kinect,
right?
Rather than with your touchscreen device, which I think Microsoft, when they launched Kinect, it never occurred to them every household that buys an Xbox or a console is going to have a touchscreen device that's connected to the
OG
internet.
Surface.
So they said, we're going to dictate to you that you're going to use Kinect, and we're going to let you pay for it. You're going to pay $100 more. And when I talked to them post E3, I mean, I literally had lunch with them, you did too, that same day, a couple months ago. I said to them, you really have to convince people it's worth $100 for Kinect. And the three-headed monster that runs Microsoft now, they're like, no, that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the features and functionality. And I said, look, guys, I know that's the company message. Yeah. The gamer goes, I'm getting this stuff in the box that I don't think I need or want. And you're asking me to pay $100 for it.
Yeah, I think
and so
Kinect is the mistake.
So I think
the
Kinect their Blu-ray.
It's the mistake they can't walk off of.
Right, it is.
It's
It's their Blu-ray. So I think the solution to the problem is jettison Kinect, because the box totally works with smart glass. Every smart glass. So jettison Kinect, get it the fuck out of the box, and lower the price by $100. And then we're having a completely different conversation about how, wow, they're both $400. What a great deal. They both do a whole lot of cool stuff. They both have great games. But instead, the rest of the next 30 minutes of this bonus round are going to be dedicated to why Microsoft screwed up by packing Kinect in the box. So the answer to your question is, I think gamers would embrace all the other features and functionality if they didn't have to pay more for it. But they say.
And one of the things, it is Kinect, and it's not really related, but if you listen, this was all before they launched the console. They were getting this feedback. They were hearing you. They were listening to you. And how long did they proceed to launch it and do what they did? They were getting feedback now. Take it out of the box. And they didn't. But they heard you. They were listening to you. Do we see the same thing today? We heard it's mockery. It is a pandering. We listening. Quality games. We hear you. We have done our best work, right?
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there.
You're getting the feedback. You don't have quality. After that comment, you proceeded to launch Halo and Redfall like that. Look at back to there. There's a meme.
Yeah, $100 for football? I don't want football.
You got to remember, though. I mean, I think that the subtext here that we got to point out, because we live in this all day long, we have lived in it all day long, is that it's not so simple to run one of these divisions of a company, to run the PlayStation division, run Xbox division. And you can't have the simple marketing message that you want. You have to address your investors. You have to address the internal politics. And it is complicated. Why is the Kinect in there? There's a lot of internal pressure to keep the Kinect in there because there is a huge investment in the Kinect. And maybe those guys aren't around anymore, but the legacy of that.
And just swap out the word connect now with AI, with cloud. There's a lot of investment in AI. There's a lot of investment in cloud. You hear it. So this is all relevant because if you just listen to what he's saying and substitute the word connect with AI and cloud, hear what he says. Again, now do that.
It's not so simple to run one of these divisions of a company, to run the PlayStation division, run Xbox division. And you can't have the simple marketing message that you want. You have to address your investors. You have to address the internal politics. And it is complicated. Why is the Kinect in there? There's a lot of internal pressure to keep the Kinect in there because there is a huge investment in the Kinect. And maybe those guys aren't around anymore, but the legacy of that debt, politically, economically, is still around. And it takes an incredibly deft manager.
Drag the company
That's
down.
right,
And
to
Microsoft
get
now
around
has
that.
a chance to just jettison all of that because they are rejiggering
I think
everybody.
Come March, April, if Sony's way ahead, if Sony's sold through 6 million and Microsoft sold through 3 million, they're going to reconsider Kinect.
I'd be interested
if they're neck and neck, then it might go to next Christmas.
Right after the announcement, there were all the problems they had, right? They were not going to allow used games in a certain fashion. They were not going to allow indie games in the same way Sony was. All of those things were easy changes. So within 48 hours, they had changed half of them, and within a couple of weeks, they had changed the rest. Kinect's not as easy.
Right.
Because everything they had done up until that point planned on Kinect being in the box. It's the hardest one for them to say, mea culpa, we're going to take it out of the box.
Well,
it's really, really hard.
Yet there's nothing
But
at
they
launch that
probably
really
need to.
uses it.
There was a tech.
And there's nothing at launch that really uses it. They were told the feedback was here, not just from gamers, from industry people. And this was when industry people weren't all the influencers with the blue check marks. This is back when people actually had some say and they were meeting with them. He met with them. Take it out of the box. We hear you. They don't care. They have commitments. But there's going to be a line in here that represents exactly what happened in January. And you're going to hear it.
That we exactly used to get Xbox off the ground.
There
And
it
that
is.
technique was intentionally telling the public about stuff and getting a huge reaction. And then there is no argument internally, right? And so in the case of their announcement.
What was that? What was that? Hit me with the sirens. Did you hear that? I will replay it, but we need to hear some friggin' sirens. Did you hear that? A strategy they use. Those leaks? A strategy they use.
Feel this.
Let's hear it again for those in the back. So there's this conversation about taking out of the box, internal conversations. Games multiplat, games going on PlayStation, games going on Nintendo. What is the strategy they use, Seamus?
There was a technique that we exactly used to get Xbox off the ground, and that technique was intentionally telling the public about stuff and getting a huge reaction, and then there is no argument internally, right? And so in the case of their announcement, it was easy. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of dissension within Microsoft about those policies, right? And I'm sure that there was some sort of fiat that was thrown down about how those are going to be the policies because we have to protect our business and right? And you know, people who know gamers are like, "Oh my God, you're going to explode a hand grenade in your hand if you say that."
Well,
and they did. And all that feedback came, and then suddenly the argument internally is easily, right? The Kinect, it's a little bit of a different thing. Like,
You hear that? They just announce it to the public to get a reaction. To then now stop those internal conversations. Or to address those internal conversations. So all that leak stuff in January, that was that strategy. Let's just leak it out there, get the influences so we could get them and get the start room in the mill, get it out there, get the reaction. And I bet you that time when Phil said, look at the people reacting, let's just start with 4 games. I gotta hear that again. Controlled leaks to get the reaction. Similarly, the leak with remember with Xbox Live increasing. Just get it out there. It wasn't officially confirmed. And then they came to damage control it.
technique was intentionally telling the public about stuff and getting a huge reaction, and then there is no argument internally, right? And so in the case of their announcement, it was easy. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of dissension within Microsoft about those policies, right? And I'm sure that there was some sort of fiat that was thrown down about how those are going to be the policies because we have to protect our business and right? And you know, people who know gamers are like, oh my God, you're going to explode a hand grenade in your hand if you say that.
Well,
and they did. And all that feedback came, and then suddenly the argument internally is easily, right? The Kinect, it's a little bit of a different thing. Like, you know, unless there's a huge outrage about the Kinect, then
so
it's
the
a subtle
solution
thing.
is cut the price $100 and eat the cost of Kinect and still pack it in the box.
And Microsoft
they
can
do that.
that.
And so I talked.
And now, Pacta suggests that.
Do it, and also the financial pain.
Listen
might
to this.
cause
So I talked to the
ease out
three-headed
of the
monster.
package.
I talked to the three-head guys about an alternative to that because I said you got to give the
Three-headed
consumer
monster.
$100 of value, and they said, so what would you
Throwing a
suggest?
game,
And I go, well, throwing a game is easy, but I said give them a year of Xbox Live Gold, and you should have seen their faces like, why would we do that? They'll pay us. And I go, what percentage of Xbox 360 owners are paying members Xbox Live Gold?
Oh, but
1 out of 3.
this is an interesting moment because, okay, certainly you, and increasingly me, because I have a mobile games.
Now, that's when they were getting money from Xbox Live. Listen to their strategies and think about Game Pass.
Company now. We think about installed copies of whatever it is versus, you know, how much money you're going to get paid by the audience, and you make that balance, right? This is a new way of thinking to a lot of guys who are from the console business, and frankly, Microsoft and Sony are both in a lot of trouble because it's a new way of thinking from a corporate standpoint. So that trade-off, which to the CEO of Supercell would seem like a no-brainer.
Right.
Get it out there, yeah, because you know what? We're going to give them more services and more games and a bigger
And
install
you'll
base
get
and make more money.
100% conversion
Nobody
rate.
would ever push back against that. So I guess in the year 2013, to have somebody say, you know, why would we give it away just in order to increase the installed base? You know, seems a little bit arcane, but
I
again, you
think
have
it's
to
a
remember.
no-brainer. I
You
think
have
it's
to
an
remember
That's why he likes
that
Game
this
Pass.
is a radically new way of thinking. We think about it all day long, but it's really only a couple of years that it's been viable.
Okay.
Has it been viable? Just giving away subscriptions? Just giving away stuff and we'll get you on the back end?
Oh no!
Oh no, because guess what, everybody? Guess what? We are intelligent. And if that's what you're going to do, then you're going to give us less quality games, and we're not going to pay. See? That's 2013 thing. Oh, just give it to them and we'll get them there. That's exactly how they approach Game Pass. Just give it away. Chips Ahoy, Chips Ahoy, Chips Ahoy. Yeah, well, you got Chips Ahoy games. Incomplete games. And what happened is because they were worried about giving it away, all access, exactly, Sergeant. Because they used that strategy, which was a new way of thinking in 2013, and then it was novel, and now they started it because guess what? If you listen to who he works for, he was working for Sergeant Games. I think he was working for some sort of indie independent thing where just spam at your game out there and you'll get them on the back end. Yeah, well, guess what? That didn't work. Because people are like, what am I paying for? They still haven't learned. Isn't that crazy? How do you think? Like, look at that. What do you think? Give it away. Did it benefit them? It stalled out. It stalled out. And because it stalled out, now what happened was they gave it away. They got a bunch of people on board. Then people quit and they canceled it. And the games had to be compromised for the service because people were expecting it. And guess what? Now they're in between a rock and a hard place. Now they got people sitting there that don't buy games and wait for it to service. And I see these shows, oh, Final Fantasy, and all of a sudden now, port begging is fine. Now Final Fantasy 16's coming here. It's coming. What do you mean it's coming? Nobody confirmed that it's coming to PlayStation. What do you coming to the Xbox? What do you mean? And as soon as it gets announced for Xbox, the first thing you're going to say is it in Game Pass? Isn't in Game Pass?
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes in Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Spyro 2, Ground, Shroom, and Doom. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass.
Now, they made their bed. Now they're sleeping in it. But how's that? Leaking a strategy, letting people hear about it, and then reacting to it. Oh, don't mind the bot accounts. We got a song for them. Don't worry. You don't need to interact. Don't interact with them. We got a song for them. Xbox Insider, you want to be recognized? Here you go.
Can you goggle my balls? Goggle my balls in your jaw. This is the remix. This is the remix. Can you goggle my balls? Goggle my balls in your jaw. This is the remix. This is the remix.
Swallowed up. Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming? And
That's it. That's all. That's all they need. They want to be recognized, they get recognized with clown music. There you go. But anyway, back to what was going on. How? Isn't it crazy knowing about that and hearing this stuff and 7 years ago? Oh, really? Mr. Tennis, you're working out to that song? Oh, man. Yes. It's crazy. And their strategies. And what was insane is that they were told this is not a good idea. And they still went with it. But that was some crazy stuff, everybody. That I told you, like it was crazy listening to that and hearing what they are doing now. What have they done? And they've taken their focus off the games and they realized they're focused on the future and did that. So I just couldn't believe it. Yo, I was like, dude, I remember this stuff. And they were told. They were told. Well, what that grind is. Let's go. Let me see. I think I don't know which one it is, but somebody recommended, one of the gaming grinders recommended to put a solo, a guitar solo for just buy the most important cloud, buy a PS5. And I tried putting in a guitar solo. Let's see if we can see that one as we head out. The Claymores with the 10 Canadian. He goes, in my opinion, Xbox knew the Game Pass model was not viable from the start, but they pursued it anyway, thinking gamers will abandon Nintendo and Sony for a cheap subsurface.
You're my number one customer.
They don't understand gamers. And Claymores, that is a cherry on top of exactly. Oh, that video is 11 years ago? Jeez. 11. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2013. Oh, it was posted 7 years ago. Sorry about that. Yeah, 11 years ago. That's even worse. A decade. Phil's still learning. He's still learning. A decade. Holy, it was 2013. He said it in the video. Holy crap. Makes it even worse. But Claymores is totally right. And they approached Game Pass, Claymores, in the same way they approached Connect. We got to go all in. We got to have it packaged in the box. We got to throw it all in there. And that's exactly what they did. They said we got to put all our games in there. All our games. Throw every first-party game in that service. Give it away for $1. They will go for a cheap service. Right, Claymores? Exactly. And they people were like, oh, try. They even made you stack Game Pass. So you had Xbox Live Gold. They made you convert for 3 years for $3. You upgraded to Game Pass Ultimate from Gold for $1. $1. Oh, Ice Queen says 2013. And he said it in the video too when they were talking about that strategy, but it is 2013. Thank you, Ice Queen Gaming. But they gave it away for $1. So to everybody that was paying $60 for it a year, upgraded for $63. And Game Pass was $10 a month, and they were able to upgrade and stack 3 years. They stacked it for 3 years. All those years that Game Pass was hyped, dudes were stacked for 3 years. You could stack it. You buy 3 Xbox Live Gold subscriptions, 60, 60, 60, and you upgrade for $1. And you get 3 years of Ultimate. That ended in 2019, 2020. So you took the people that would pay you, and you thought that if you get them on a new subscription service, they will just continue to pay you without having desirable content. The problem is, the consumer is looking at the value that you're providing. And if now you're asking me to say subscribed, well, when the subscription's over and you're not giving me content that I am paying for, I'm not going to continue to pay it. And they went all in on Game Pass without even beta testing it or testing it out or offering as a new additional service. Instead, they took the money bag that they were getting from Gold subscribers and turned them into non-paying, wait for it come to Game Pass subscribers. And now, 7 years of that? Giving stuff away for free? Well, guess what? They're like, hey, I stuck by you. You promised me games in Game Pass. Now the games are coming. And what you're doing, you're putting them somewhere else. I could have went over to PlayStation and played all their games and got your games at the same time. Instead of sitting here waiting for games to come in a subscription that I'm paying for. And that's why people were pissed. Jenna Hayes says, Gaming Grindhouse, what's the nonsense that people complain about Rise of their own graphics? I don't know. It has hit or miss moments. Like, I have to say, like, it doesn't. I think the problem is Ghost of Tsushima will look so good and it was so polished. I think that people are a little spoiled by that. But I do have to say, the one thing in Rise of Ronin that doesn't get me, I don't like that horse anime. Those horses look like they're bow-legged. Look a little weird, those horse animations. But I'm interested in the game, though. And I'm thinking about doing the multiplayer, though. I want to definitely do it. Oh, and by the way, Grinders, tonight, Battlefront Classic 1 and 2 come out. Oh, yeah, I'm on that one, baby. I love those. Oh, man, hopefully they play well. I hope so. And I hope EA servers don't mess them up. Yes, I did. I shout out Anonymous. Came a VIP. Thank you, Ice Queen. Yeah, that comes out, baby. I know, Mr. Tennis. I know. And I'm going to get it. I don't know if I'm going to stream it at midnight. I'll see. Man, my eyes are friggin' bloodshot. I've been playing so many freaking Helldivers. Then I've been playing on the Portal when I'm not on there. Dude, it's been tough. And I do VR stuff, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Battlefront. Oh, my God. Those games are so classic, dude. I don't know. That's right, Mr. Tennis. I don't know, man. The service. It's EA, too, man. I can see that. I'm going to load it up at midnight and not be able to get into a game. See the Claymore? Yeah, I agree with the horse anime. The horse animation look a little weird, a bow-legged. I don't know. But I heard the combat looks really cool. Like, the combat looks awesome. And, definitely, I'm going to check it out. Definitely. Why not? Why not? But some of the animations are a little off. That's what I feel like, too. Some of the graphics. But again, we'll have to see. But again, and even if it is like a flub or like that, yeah, I know. EA servers are the booster. I know. It's going to be hectic. I know. I don't even know. I'm now I just sold myself out of it now. I'm like, oh, no. I don't get too excited. It'll be like waiting. EA servers are full of capacity. Oh, man. I don't need another weekend than that. And then Helldivers content on the 14th. That comes out, too. The new season's going to come out on Helldivers. That's going to be lit this weekend. I'm going to be lit. It's also St. Paddy's Day. Which, by the way, a new grind. I'm writing a new song for I don't know where. Let's see if I have it. I don't know. I'm writing a new song that's gonna release with a little bit of a St. Paddy's Day Irish beat to it. That one. But again, this for the ultimate grinders. I got to keep those people specials. But hopefully they vote on. But I'll give you a little sneak peek. Just a little sneak peek for the grinders coming in here. I like to treat some of the live audience here. A little sneak peek.
In a world of pixels and dreams, where heroes rise and fight the schemes, you're the console that lights up the screen. With every game, a magical routine.
That's your tease. That's it. That's the new one. That's a tease of one of the new songs coming out. It's Tough Being Green. So that one will be for the Ultimate Grinders. If you want access to that, I'm going to be uploading that one. I just uploaded the Helldivers 2 jam. And then Brunching No Crunch may be releasing soon. So if you want to get in on those and listen to those songs, that is the Ultimate Grinders. I have a Jim Ryan song that did not get voted in yet. That will be on the voting panel for this week for the Ultimate Grinders. But if you want to get access to all those songs and more as they come out, about 3 or 4 a week, and then vote on them, I don't like teasing, but I like to tease. I'm excited about the things that I'm not releasing now. Anyway, but there's songs up there, so just I know that's not if you listen to the song Country Jam, and then you had your I know the flying bugs are going to be a pain in the ass. But anyway, I think I was able to get the song for the Most Important Cloud. I got our rock riff there. So everybody, hit that like button, share it out, become a VIP member, get emojis, get some, vote on topics, and then vote on the tiebreaker of the songs, and then Ultimate Grinders get access to the songs before they get released and get voted on which ones get released each week. So, with that, the latest release that was voted on, a little bit of an extended version. I was able to add some more some things to it. So enjoy, and Grinders, hit that like button. Keep it locked here. More streaming, some Grindhouse highlights, and more Gaming Grindhouse records.
How could this be? PlayStation Lockdown Final Fantasy. Now they shout out and proud. They got the most important cloud. Yeah. Just buy a PS5 and you will see the level of quality. It's a game changer. Graphics to the gameplay. It's a whole new world, can't you say? They got barracks, and it's Cloud and Tifa. And days how they gonna beat ya. Now you can sign up for the Game Pass for $1, or get a PC to wait. But just buy a PS5 and be their date. I'm tired of same old game, playing on repeat. Gotta break free, gotta find something sweet. Then I heard about a brand new thing, a clean and dream, PS5. It's the answer. Just buy a PS5 and see the level of quality. It's a game changer. Graphics to the gameplay. It's a whole new world, can't you say?
And the latest release.
Baby, come on, let's play a little game. Goo goo gaga, we're all in the same frame. Grab your game pass, load it up real quick. Dive into the virtual world, ready to click. Goo goo gaga, there are no players, can't you see? Jumping in the game, baby, you and me. Feel the waiting list to join my Xbox party. Goo goo gaga, Game Pass games. What are we doing here? Goo goo gaga, Game Pass games. What are we doing here? Baby, come on, let's play a little game. Goo goo gaga, we're on the same frame. Grab your Game Pass, load it up real quick. Dive into the virtual world, ready to click. Yeah, goo goo gaga, there are no players. Can you see? Jumping in the game, baby, you and me. Feel the waiting list to join my Xbox party. Goo goo gaga, Game Pass games. What are we doing here? Goo goo gaga, Game Pass games. What are we doing here? They just together, feel the rhythm in the air. Everybody's moving like they just don't care. Shaking it up, breaking it down, we're on fire. Come on and join it, it's a party you desire. Dance to the beat of feels fancy, come on, let's go. Feel the music pulsing through your soul. Forget your worries, let the rhythm take control. Get up, get down, it's time to lose control. In the city, you see the lights up the skyline, where the dreams of great games are still only dreams. Nothing but lies, the night is alive. We're just living in a Game Pass paradise. We're dreaming of other consoles, dancing in the courts, sipping on Xbox tears, we're playing with your hearts. In this Xbox city where the magic fails, we're caught up in the bullshit, the lack of our game sales. more snooze. He's pumping caffeine, fueling the false dreams. Sipping on Joe, creating the flow. From the beats to the games, it's all in his game scoping. Snackable games and addictive battle passes, that's the way it goes.
They just share the feel the rhythm in the air. Everybody's moving like they just don't care. Shaking it up, breaking it down, we're on fire. Come on and join it, it's a party of desire. Dance to the beat that feels better, come on, let's go. Feel the music, pulse and